Today in our 2017 Toyota Corolla IM, we'll be having a look at and installing the Roadmaster Diode 7-wire to 6-wire Flexo-Coil Wiring Kit, part number RM-15267. And here's what our diode kit looks like installed and functioning. As you can see, there's nothing visible on the outside of the vehicle as far as the wiring is concerned. We only have the 6-pole round connector on the front, and what this does is eliminates the need for us to use magnetic tow lights on our vehicle when we're flat towing it behind our RV. It utilizes the factory lights already in the car. We don't have to do any drilling to add a secondary bulb and socket to our vehicle's taillight assembly. This uses what we already have. We splice into the wiring using the diodes, which will prevent the voltage from being back-fed into our vehicle's expensive computer systems which controls our lighting. This will only illuminate the light bulb. There is no electricity flowing anywhere else. When we unhook from our RV at our destination, because we have the inline diodes installed, our vehicle's existing wiring works just the same as normal, so our lights will function just like they did off the showroom floor without any problems. This kit basically turns our vehicle into a trailer, so we'll have our tail light and running light right here on the top, and then our turn signal bulb and brake light bulb is now a combined function as one, because trailers, their turn signal and brake lights are the same bulb. Now that we've gone over some features, we'll show you how to get it installed. Okay, we went ahead and routed our 4-pole flat wiring behind our fascia when we had it off when we installed our base plate. We wrapped it up with some electrical tape as well, so we wouldn't have any colored wires hanging behind our grill opening that we could see. So what we'll do is we'll take our 6-pole connector here, take the dust cap off, slide it on over our wire, just throw it back there for right now. Now we'll separate all 4 of our wires. If all 4 are separated, we'll now strip off the insulation from them. Okay, we'll start off with our ground wire. That's our white wire, and that'll go to the terminal marked GD. So we loosen the set screw, insert the wire, and then we tighten the set screw back down onto it. Now we'll do our tail light and marker lights. That goes to this terminal marked TM. Now we'll stick our brown wire in there. Okay, now we'll do our left turn signal. And that goes to the terminal marked LT. That one gets our yellow wire. That leaves us with our green wire, which is our right turn signal. And that goes to the terminal marked RT. Make sure all of our wires are in there nice and secure now. Now we'll slide our dust cover on down, back onto our connector. Now we'll take some electrical tape and seal it up. All right, we got this wrapped up nice and tight now. This will keep any dirt, debris, and moisture from entering the backside of our socket, potentially causing a poor connection or a short. Now we'll push this back. So we'll secure it to the prongs of our base plate with the self-tapping screws that came with our base plate. Start the other one, make sure it's nice and centered, then we'll run them down. Okay, that gives us a nice solid connection for our electrical connection between the 2 vehicles. All right, we'll go ahead and show you how our wire is routed behind our fascia now. It goes through the fascia. For video purposes, we took the grill out to better show you. Here's where it comes through the end of our connector, comes up over our base plate. We have it secured with a couple zip ties along the back side of our base plate. You see we wrapped all the way down the end of it with electrical tape just to help conceal it behind our grill openings. Comes through this slot here next to our radiator and AC condenser. We brought it up and along our coolant reservoir here, goes down underneath this tab that holds it in place, against our firewall, and on down behind the lines for our air conditioning, keeping it away from any sources of heat or moving parts. We'll go underneath now and show you how it's routed to the back. And so our wire came down behind our firewall. You can see it right here. Went over the subframe connector here, then underneath all of our black plastic underbody. Comes out here, goes underneath another underbody. Then we have it zip tied to a bracket that holds our brake line in place next to the very corner of our fuel tank. Try to keep it as far away from the exhaust as possible. Zip tied to another bracket that holds a brake line in place. Goes up and over our rear subframe. Okay, so it's hanging down at the end of our fascia now, which is right where we want it, so we can bring it up behind our fascia and into our taillight pocket. Okay, now we'll open up our hatch to gain access to our taillights. Okay, we have two 10mm screws to remove on each taillight assembly. Now we can grab our taillight assembly. Okay, with our taillight removed, we'll twist out our two bulbs. And we'll disconnect our LED taillight. If we squeeze those two tabs with a pair of needle nose pliers, we'll pull down on it, pops out nice and easily. Then we can grab our electrical connector, push it on the tab, and separate, and we can set our taillight assembly aside. Now we'll repeat the same process on the other side of the vehicle. Okay, now we'll take a fish wire, go behind our taillight pocket until it comes out below our vehicle. Okay, here's our pull wire that we dropped down. We went ahead and separated our four wires like we did at the front. We just went ahead and did them all the way to where we have them zip tied up to our exhaust hanger. We'll take all of our wires except our yellow one now, and we will tape these three wires to our pull wire. Now we will pull up our three wires. Okay, our white wire again is our ground wire. So we'll measure off a few inches here and cut off the rest. Strip off some insulation. And we'll take our ring terminal that's included, stick it on over the wire, and we'll crimp it into place. Okay, now we'll secure this to our vehicle's chassis. As long as it's going into metal, we're okay with the self-tapping screw that's provided. Okay, we have our headlights turned on right now, so we're going to test which wire is our positive side of our tail light connector, which is this one. And it's our red wire. Okay, we went ahead and removed some of our electrical tape that covered up our wires here, so we had something to work with. And we did the same with our turn signal bulb here. This is the one with the gray socket, so we have access to those wires later. Now we'll cut our red wire in half right here in the middle and strip back the insulation on both ends. We'll be using our diode pack that has a yellow connector. All of our diode packs are the same, it's just this particular one has a different gauge connector on it. So we'll take off our two blue ones right now, and we'll place our blues over the red wires that we just stripped back and crimp them down. Now we'll take our diode pack. Output side goes towards our connector. Other side goes towards the input. Doesn't matter which one again. Remove the yellow one now. Okay, our brown wire here, we'll measure off about how much we're going to need. Make sure we have a little bit of slack in it. Right here should be plenty. Strip it back. Okay, now our leftover brown wire, we'll strip off the insulation on one end of it as well. And we'll twist these two wires together. And we'll place on our yellow spade terminal and crimp that down. And we'll plug that in to the other input side. Now we need to determine which one of our wires here is our hot side for our turn signal. So we'll go in the middle again, use our test light. Okay, it is our blue wire. We'll turn our turn signal off now. Okay, we'll cut our blue wire in half. Strip out the insulation. And we'll place our spade terminals on. Plug our diode in. Again, output goes towards the bulb. Now we'll take our green wire, measure off about how much we're going to need, cut off the excess, and we'll crimp this on. Okay, with our brown wire that we added, we went ahead and taped up to our pull wire, ran our pull wire on down. This time, we'll pull it down versus up. Okay, we put some of the wire loom that we have of our kit around over our exhaust here to help protect it from this metal edge and to help protect it from the heat a little bit from the exhaust. Now our brown wire that we extended and our yellow wire, we routed over our fascia tab, over our underbody panel. Our vehicle has a trailer hitch on it, so you can actually see the wire here. Otherwise, this panel is all one solid piece. Comes out here. Again, you would have a small gap here. Ours has been enlarged because of our trailer hitch. We already dropped down our pull wire, and we've taped our yellow and our brown wire to it. So now we can pull those on up. Okay, we'll take our red wire on our other side now, cut it right in the middle, and strip it back. We'll add our spade connectors. Okay, so again, our output side goes towards our connector, and we can go to either one of the input sides. Now we'll take our brown wire, we'll measure off how much we're going to need, cut off the excess, put on our spade connector, and crimp it down. And that'll go to the other side of the input of our diode. Okay. Now we'll take our blue wire for our turn signal, cut it in the middle, place our spade connectors on, crimp those on. Take our diode pack. Output side goes towards our bulb. Again, the other side can go to any one of the inputs, does not matter which one. Now we'll measure off our yellow wire, cut off the excess. Take our final spade connector, and we'll crimp it on down. And we'll stick that on the other side of the input. Now we'll plug back in the connector for our LED taillights. And we'll place our bulbs back in the appropriate socket. Now we'll push our taillight assembly back into position. And reinstall our 2 screws. And we'll repeat the same process on our other side. Okay, we have our 7 to 6 umbilical plugged into a trailer tester now into the front of our vehicle. We can use this trailer tester to test our functions, or we could hook up to our RV. So we'll start running through all of our functions and make sure they work. Okay, we'll start with our tail lights first. Do our left brake light now. Now we'll do our right brake light. And that's working too. Our brake lights also function as our turn signals since we're treating our vehicle as a trailer. And that completes our look at and installation of the Roadmaster Diode 7-wire to 6-wire Flexo-Coil Wiring Kit, part number RM-15267 on our 2017 Toyota Corolla IM. Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at eTrailer.com.